Hey guys, welcome to the RayQuest Podcast. I'm StevRayBro, or Steven, or Stev, or whatever you want to call me. And then this is my friend Tristan.
The bitter nerd.
And we're going to be talking about a couple of cartoons. We don't have a lot to talk about. We did go to a convention this weekend. I got a free pass, so I wound up going. I wasn't planning on going. I do have one story I want to share with that that's really, really cool. And then we'll just kind of end the podcast just talking about this week's worth of cartoons between Steven Universe, Gravity Falls. I think Ninja Turtles was like last week, but we can talk about it still. He didn't technically get to see it. I can recap it, but while it was a very important episode for Ninja Turtles because it introduced some new characters, I don't think it's really like plot heavy. So,
yeah.
I think we're really just going to talk about the design. So, people are retweeting the podcast link on Twitter. Thank you, but I need that to be quiet. All right, so let's.
It scared me to death. I'm like so protective of my.
It's got a case, and there's a bed and a couch. The worst thing that can happen is land on cushioning.
All I can imagine is it landing in Kaiju's cage, and you just hear meow. Like you scared the poor thing so bad he meows.
You can kind of see Kaiju right here. He's that little dot there. He just got a new reptile carpet. It's a little too small for his cage, but it's just gonna have to deal because I just paid $10 for it and didn't realize it until after I opened it.
Just make sure and let us know if he starts going Michigan J Frog on us because I do suspect he dances when we aren't looking.
And by the way, we do have live comments now because we're on Twitch, and so if you guys have anything you want to talk about or mention or comment, we will be responding to the comments above. I don't know. I tried downloading a plugin to get it to where it pops up here over Tristan's face, but I wasn't having really good luck with that. It just happens to be you're there. You're just like I feel like you're trying as hard as possible to get off frame. We're gonna be friends. So guys, RayQuest Podcast. So let's talk about conventions because we had a convention last weekend, and I'm gonna go to one day of the convention that's local here. But last weekend there was Wizard World at Indianapolis Comic Con.
First Wizard World for Indianapolis.
Potentially the last.
The people running it seemed okay with it as a first appearance.
A lot of the tickets were given away.
Oh,
and
wow.
Seeing how many tickets were given away, it did not have the attendee. It's hard for me to judge because I went there on a Sunday, and it's usually the slowest day for conventions, but it still didn't look like it was doing super well. I did have one person I ran into I wasn't expecting to run into, and it was a lot of fun.
Oh, the cinema snob.
I ran into the cinema snob, Brad Jones, and he's a really cool guy, but I was just not in the headspace at all to meet him. Like, because I looked at the list, and it's like, there's some cool people there. There's some people from Walking Dead. I don't really watch Walking Dead, so I'm not, like, super into that. There was the Doctor Who girl, the redhead, Amy Pond.
Oh, yeah, I wanted to meet her, but
I think there was a lot of money spent. If you wanted to meet like celebrities there was like $50 a pop per person. I think that was like minimum. It was, and then the convention itself cost like $50 to get in. So, and I spend very limited amount of money at conventions. Me personally, like I did spend $20 and I got 5 prints. I don't know if you got to see these.
Yeah, what was the artist's name?
I can't remember, to be honest. There was like 2 artists, but they weren't there. I didn't have to meet the artists. They just kind of were selling prints. But this is really cool. They had a villain version of this, but they were all purple, and it just didn't look super good. Like it wasn't a bad drawing. It's just they all muddled together. It didn't. I kind of lost it.
Purple is a very villainous color.
A Goofy movie, which is among my groups of friends, is the greatest movie ever. We love it. We quote it all the time. But this is awesome. We got the Ghostbuster. That's upside down. Whoop.
Oh, nice.
That's a different print. That's unrelated to the convention. This is really cool. And then, by the way, like I said, these were $5 a piece.
Yeah.
If you bought 4 or more.
Oh, that looks great.
Yeah, this looks awesome.
That makes purple work for it.
This does. But I didn't realize how generically everything was purple in the 80s.
And that's
that's Elizabeth Bales. I don't know how that got in there, but it usually hangs on my wall. It's already got tack on it, but Elizabeth Bales did this. She actually did me a favor, and I asked her if I could buy some more work, and she just sent me a bunch of them. I think she might have like charged me for 1 print and just like shoved a bunch of stuff in the box, but I'll take it. And look how good that is. Look at microphone. Look at it.
this thing starts talking like Crow from Mystery Science Theater, I'm walking. Because you don't need me anymore.
Speaking of which, you know that Banjo-Kazooie game, the spiritual sequel, apparently JonTron got tweeted at, right? And so JonTron got tweeted, and their tweet was like, "Oh, don't worry, man. A microphone with googly eyes will appear to you soon." Which, and where you know, Conker and Banjo, basically everything has just googly eyes, so that's really funny. So I ran into the Cinema Snob, and I wasn't expecting it. Like I didn't know anyone there. You know, I'm just kind of. I did go see my friend Philip and my friend Lee, who does Little Guardians. I mostly go to conventions now. Like I'm a really like I'm very extroverted if like I know you, but if it's like conventions, I'm very introverted because I'm just like I don't want to be like bothered while I'm walking through. I like looking at art and looking at people, but I don't like actually interacting.
It's like
So
if somebody recognizes you, you're just like,
oh no. I mean, like no one ever recognizes me. No one knows my face enough. But like, I'm usually in the middle of the lane, and so just so no one would be like, "Hey, come here, look, you know, buy my stuff," you know. And and so like, so I only go for like local talent, really. It's just what I am, and then occasionally finding cool prints and stuff to hang up in my room.
mm-hmm.
And so like I'm looking at the top, and then there's like, oh, the Cinema Snob's here? And like this guy turns around and he's like, "Yeah, I am." And I'm like, "Holy crap!" I wasn't. My roommate's with me, and it's like, "Oh my god, that's the Cinema Snob!" You know, like, oh, I haven't really watched any of his stuff in a long time because I just don't get on that guy with the glasses. Really, the only person I really follow is Pushing Up Roses and CR from there,
Mm-hmm.
and both of them don't post in there very often. I think Pushing Up Roses left. And I did watch like Jessica talk, who's like Digimon thing, but like that guy with the glasses just wasn't really that relevant to me anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when the Nostalgia Critic stopped doing the Nostalgia Critic for a little bit, and then I just never got back into it.
Oh.
And I love the Cinema Snob character. It's so awesome. It's just like he got me into Manimal. And I told him that. Yeah, Manimal. It's just the way he like says stuff, you know. I love his character. I love him in like that guy with the glasses like anniversary videos and stuff. But like the stuff he reviews is not really my cup of tea. It's mostly like exploitation films and porno stuff. Like I almost like I felt like an idiot because I'm just like, oh yeah, but Austin, this guy does like porn reviews. He's like, well, no, exploitation films different. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I felt like an idiot because I just wasn't ready. Normally, like if I know someone's gonna be there in my mind, I've already played around with some of the conversation. I know what topics I want to talk about. Him, I just wasn't expecting it. And I feel like I was an idiot, but like he was just a really cool guy, really excited to see me. And if I had cash on him, I would have bought his DVD, but he only took cash and I only had the card.
He said he only had card 2.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I only have card 2. And I go, yeah, I usually just bring the card so I don't end up with a bunch of prints, you know. But yeah, talk about your Wizard World experience because you had a much different one than me.
Well, I got there at 8:30 a.m., took the bus, froze my butt off. Mainly because I pre-bought tickets for the Jason David Frank meet and greet. And, you know, I was expecting him to be, like, you know, real cocky and kind of flippant. But no, he was actually really friendly, really humble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's weird to hear him talk with the attitude he puts out there. And then you see him talk and it's just like, yeah, I can see why this guy teaches kids as a martial arts instructor and whatnot. Got him to sign my Season 2, Volume 2 DVD case, so I'm only one Ranger away from having a complete team, and that's Amy Jo Johnson. Please let her come to Lexington Comic-Con, even though it's only a month away.
So man, it can happen.
It could happen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was always kind of turned off by the Green Ranger just because, like, I went to Lexington Comic-Con, and, like, it might have been more of his manager being kind of the problem, but I just remember, because I don't pay for autographs, I don't believe in it, like, okay, I paid for Jim Cummings' autograph because I really want my poster signed, but I mean, besides that, I just don't pay for them because I think it's rude. I think if you make people like I don't know, I understand that they want money back and such, and that you're paying for their time, and they probably don't get paid that much to be at the convention itself. But I don't know. It just feels like I feel rude if I'm like, yeah, I won't sign this unless I you know.
It is usually 90% their agents.
Okay.
Like they make them take like. JDF actually, like, cons pay celebrities to be there.
Sometimes.
He does not let them pay him to be there.
Okay.
He shows up out of his own, you know, desire to be there, which I thought was pretty cool. And, I mean, he was just real friendly with everybody. Like, everybody in line was his friend.
But I just remember, like, I couldn't step in line unless I bought something. So, like, I couldn't meet him unless I spent at minimum $25 for the DVD. That's $5 at Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was one of those things. And, but yeah, I mean, it's really cool to find out. He's pretty cool. Apparently his family had an issue.
Yeah, his father-in-law had to have a blood clot removed from one of his, like, spots in his neck, and so he was gonna, like, JDF was gonna be there the whole weekend, and he's like, he never cancels a convention appearance. He just tries to be there at least, if something comes up, he tries to be there at least one day.
That's pretty cool.
So I lucked out.
All I know about him though was there's a I won't mention names. I don't want to like do anything bad or add bad blood. Not that I think anyone's going to be watching it locally. I think mostly it's just random fans from the channel is going to be watching this. But a friend of mine got I'm not going to say I basically argue for what it is, but there was a person that I know that was protesting the convention apparently because the booth tables are too expensive. Wizard World's Artist Alley was like $300, and that's really outrageous for a first-year convention. There's certain conventions, say like Gen Con, that's been here multiple years. And I know Wizard World's already got kind of a name, but you have no clue when a convention first starts here how big they're going to be.
You can't recoup that cost.
And that's a lot of money to put into just the booth, not counting the prints. Building the stand, getting different things, like if this is your first convention, that's just no good. And I know that like a couple of people were they did an event that was cross town at a different place that was not making an event for the sake of protesting. It was just like, hey, let's help out the local people. Let's, do a little event where I have an artist coming in, just kind of matches up. But another person actually got on the forums, on Indie PopCon's forums, and was just kind of like, kind of bashing the other convention. And like in protest to it, and be like, come to this event instead. And it was just like kind of weird. But then what made it really mixed feelings was like she sent someone there to get like the Green Ranger's autograph, and it's like, so she protested the convention but still reaped the rewards of the convention. It feels a little dirty. I don't know. It didn't set right with me. It gave me mixed signals.
I mean, and I can understand because like Wizard would not allow you to advertise other cons at it.
Right.
Like they are very exclusive. They're a tad predatory. Like they pick a month. They pick a 2-month period where the most conventions happen, and they try to push those out of the way.
Yeah, and what makes it worse is that there is a Indianapolis Comic Con, and this one advertised it as the Indianapolis Comic Con. And I technically Wizard World does have kind of that title with everywhere. But it did feel kind of dirty, and there was a bunch of just different little things happening. But it's interesting because like I just kind of started doing conventions last year, like not going to them. I've been to a few before, but like I've been more involved in the convention community more than ever, and it's weird to see all this little drama stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of prefer the smaller mom and pop conventions. The stuff that we've grown here: Indie PopCon, Awesome Con to a lesser extent, Anime Crossroads.
Awesome Con was a bigger convention other places and then moved here.
I thought it was grown here.
No. It started in like Washington.
Oh, well, never mind then. I can take my grievance elsewhere.
By the way, I just want to read a couple of comments. Mark Cardi 1994, thank you so much. He said he loves my channel and keep up the art. Really appreciate it. And then Flash Toro Gaming also agreed. I really appreciate that as well. And then someone else asked if I met any fans. I did not. I don't think I'm like it's really weird, but like locally, I don't feel like I'm big enough to like really meet people. The closest, like at the love stream, there was like one person in Ohio, and that was the closest we got. Yeah. So, and I think a couple of people commented like on the YouTube when I mentioned I'm from Indianapolis that they're like, "Oh, we're in the same city," but like I think it's very rare for me. I'm never going to run into anyone, and maybe Indie PopCon because they keep advertising it, but who knows? So this weekend there's another convention that we're going to be going. I'll be at least going, I think either Friday or Saturday. I haven't decided yet. I do want to do a shoot there. I'm going to be filming a video for you guys, and I think it's going to be really funny. But it's called Anime Crossroads. You want to talk about it? You're more familiar with it than I am.
It started about, I think this is their 6th year. Well, their 6th, the 6th time being here. They actually had to skip a year to get back on a schedule that worked for them because of conflicts with different hotels and whatnot.
Okay.
But it's just a locally grown anime convention. I'll be volunteering there all 3 days.
He might be my cameraman for one day. I'm gonna sneak that in there because
Okay.
I got an HD camera I won from a Black Friday deal.
Nice.
Remember that a couple of years back? Because you went with me to go pick it up.
Yeah.
HH Greg, I somehow won a Black Friday thing where I got to spend so much money, and I used it to buy one of these HD cameras. It's not the same one that was used for house, but it's like a lower version of it.
Oh wow.
And I just haven't used it yet because I feel like I need help with it. Lighting's tough. You can tell I already suck at lighting. Look at this blue thing going on.
They just assumed you were 1/4 Smurf.
Okay. But so Anime Crossroads has a maid cafe. I wound up going to one of his volunteer meetings because he needed a ride, and the maid cafe team for the volunteers
was all dressed up and already there.
Showed up in full costumes, and if you guys remember on Twitter, I was like, "They have maids, help!" That was because of it, and I talked to their manager and such, and I thought I feel like I'm going to be really awkward with it, and I feel like I'm going to be like kind of embarrassed, and I was like, that sounds like it's going to be great for YouTube, so I figured I would film something while I'm there. I'm going to try to do my best to put them in a positive life, but also just kind of have fun with it too.
Yeah.
I do need to talk to their manager a little bit further to figure out what exactly we're going to be doing, but I don't know. I thought it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I look forward to it. I look forward to it. It looks like to be like they've had little kind of attempts at maid cafes over the last few years, but this one looks to be the most like concentrated, legit one they've tried.
Oh yeah, it looks pretty legit. The girls are like, I asked them if it was kind of a role play thing because it's supposed to be like them pretending you're your master and stuff like that. And they kind of like the manager's like, not really. And then the one that made was like, yeah. But they were definitely in character, so much so that during the rehearsal, one of them accidentally spilled water and like started crying, like very anime tropey. And then one of the butlers, or that's what they call it, butlers, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know if there was like a certain name for him, but like came up and like already had like stuff ready to clean it up. So I don't know if it was like staged or something. Yeah. But the manager seemed pretty impressed with it because they were very in character.
Yeah.
There's one thing I really want to include in the video, but makes no sense to you guys, is that they had this reoccurring joke where like every time the security guard, who's very weirded out by this, walks by, they all just salute him, and like it makes him very uncomfortable. And it was just the best thing because they kept doing it. And like the con director, every time something happened where the security guard like smarted off to him, he was like, "Mate, salute!" And it was really good. But I want to incorporate in the video, but I feel like there's like no way for that to make sense as a joke,
Mm-hmm.
Let's read a few more comments. Let's see here. Found the other day, inspired me to draw. Thanks, buddies. One. And then someone asked me if I achieved full neck beard. I guess so. I'm kind of just growing it out. I don't know when I'm going to start shaving it, but I want to kind of see where it comes from. And yeah, it's kind of a neck beard. I do shave like halfway through, but
it's more of like an Amish beard. Like my little brother has a very similar beard growth.
I just wish I could draw. I would draw. I wish I could just grow a mustache that didn't look like a mustache. It just goes straight to like creepy. Like I can never get past this. And but anyways,
it's like, hey, for me, no shave November turned into don't shave December, turned into just a trim January, and finally February I had to shave completely.
This gives me a chin, so I can't really complain. I don't really have one.
It's got a nice defining line.
Yeah. So let's do some cartoon recaps.
Alrighty.
So I know you're dying to talk about Dino charts. Let's get the Power Rangers out of the way.
Definitely a weaker episode this week.
Oh, I was really impressed with last week's episode. Like it looked like they were really trying to make a good show. This week it fell a little flat. I don't know if it's like budget reasons or what, or they ran out of time, but like this was definitely a weaker part of a two-parter.
It felt like, okay, here's some plot, let's get to the Sentai footage.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I will say, like, it feels like maybe episode 1 and 2 were actually one long episode that maybe got chopped up. Because I mean, that would explain the whole less than 2-minute long morph in the first one, and then the overuse of Sentai footage in this one.
I do think it was a budget thing.
But I mean, we get a little more understanding of the characters. I mean, Shelby's still a little overacted.
I can't remember which one that one is.
The black gal.
The Pink Ranger?
Yeah,
Pink Ranger. Why you have to bring that kind of color in here? Why you have to play that card?
But even though he barely says anything, I still love the Blue Ranger's like demeanor.
The Blue Ranger, the second episode when he helped her, because there's a part where like the Pink Ranger thinks he knows what she's doing, and it's like it does messed up, and apparently she doesn't know how to push a button, and he like it fixes it, and he kind of has this goofy your stupid smile, and it's very endearing. The Rangers this season do have a lot of charisma. Shelby is a little overacted. The Green Ranger doesn't seem super well acted either. Like he seems it goes from okay to really cringeworthy sometimes in that.
He's definitely, even with if the acting's not all him, if it's all directing, he's still very obviously the young, acting wise, probably the youngest member.
But overall, it felt like a step down from the previous episode. I know I'm treating it pretty harshly, but I guess I had really high expectations of it. But I guess my biggest problem with it was I was expecting a couple of episodes of them revealing the Rangers, and instead we got slowly two, and this one felt like it was only going to introduce the green one. I was cool with that with the trio for a moment. I just wanted to slowly build into it so we could really get to know the characters. And then I still don't know the Black and Blue Ranger that well because they're just oh hey, we already have our powers.
The next two episodes are focus episodes for those two. So.
I could see that, but I still want to just let us grow with the team. And then the snobby director.
Yeah, the lab person, they're definitely playing on the whole "I'm jealous, I'm not a Ranger" thing.
It's annoying. I don't like it at all. And she just basically just berates the Pink Ranger and just oh, you're just a waitress. You're dumb. I don't know why the Power Ranger power chose you. And it's man, that's so forced.
Just a bit. It'll grow over time. They're setting up a drama dynamic basically. Poorly,
very poorly, but
it might pay off later. The Keeper ET Nibbler hybrid, actually think he looks better designed with the hood down. The mohawk and the...
I was, because he's kind of a poorly designed character, just in general, doesn't look that nice, and I was kind of hoping he was just going to be for the first episode, just kind of filler, just add him in there. He gives powers to dinosaurs die. Somehow he survives now, and I'm just great. He's the mentor of the season.
Yeah, well, I can almost guarantee he's going to have some super form or an evolved form or something.
Into that bird thing, I'm assuming. Yeah. I don't know. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Anytime they have a thing where it's the mouth's just.
Yeah, at least this time it was puppetry. It wasn't bad CG.
But I almost kind of prefer the dynamic of the maybe. Okay, so maybe the director's so high strong because she's still trying to figure out the powers. Instead, you have a person already telling her. I think that would have been much cooler. And there's a lot of mystery between the power because oh yeah, we can do this, and then that could have been a good way about your phone. Your phone keeps moving.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oops. It was not silent. It was on vibrate.
Yeah. And I think it'd be really good for them to be that would explain why they slowly get their powers or new forms. So but instead it's just Keeper just I'm just withholding information because I'm the Keeper.
I mean, at least there's still going to be actual development this season. It's not here's a new toy every 3 episodes or every damn episode.
Hopefully. But yeah, so that's Power Ranger Dino Charge. It went from a 4 out of 5 to about 3, 2-ish.
I'd say a 2.5.
2.5. Let's go with that. We can settle with that. Let's talk about something a lot more exciting now. The Power Rangers. Sorry, for me. Gravity Falls, because Gravity Falls this week's episode was great.
They're back from a long break, aren't they?
They are back from a long break, and in the particular episode, spoilers, guys. I guess there's nothing really I could say that really ruins the episode, for the most part. But if you haven't seen it yet, pause, skip a little bit. I don't know how far we'll go. I don't know, but with the episode, Dipper gets invited over to the Northwest Manor to help them exorcise a ghost. Exorcise a ghost. There we go. It's a lumberjack, and he's angry because the Northwesterns don't let common folk into the thing that they helped build. He winds up dying because of their selfish needs, and
haunts him.
He vowed for, strangely, 150th anniversary, if they haven't invited common folk into their homes, he's going to murder them. And so Dipper and Pacifica have a centered episode together. Yeah. And then Mabel and the 2 girls have a very, very, very plain B plot. But that's not the focus. The focus is how brutal and metal this episode is.
Both from a bleeding from the eye standpoint and parental emotional abuse.
Oh man, this is a really dark episode, and I think that what's Gravity Falls is very like it's not a colorful show, but it's like its designs are very warming and kind of nice and really easy to like get a hold of, or like really easy to like drawn into. And then you have like bleeding from their eyes, dead animals stuffed, and I was expecting at that point the like Dipper to walk over and go, maple syrup or something, you know.
That would have been hilarious.
It would have been, especially with the dripping on the floor, and you know, trying to see what it is. But no, it's straight up red, and they don't even play. They're just like, oh god, they're like bleeding from our eyes, because they literally say that. And like Gravity Falls is very notorious for like having things where like there's some kind of verbal or visual thing to get past the censors. Like when they're drinking wine or whatever, it's rich people water, or like when they have especially alcohol. There's all of my examples. There's one Wendy's dad walks by with a keg, and usually kegs are associated with beer, and he's just like, it's a keg full of meat, and like runs off, and it's like, oh, okay, clearly that's not what we think it is.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, there's blood dripping out of it. We see a guy get an axe right in his face. If you've been on Tumblr, I'm sure you've been spoiled already. Tumblr don't hold back.
No, Tumblr is like the #1 place to go get spoiled for Gravity Falls,
You know,
especially.
like, there's no like real time, because somehow someone always finds like an early copy and is able to spoil it the day before it comes out. Like every time, I'm just
Hong Kong rip.
I'm just like, man, you know, there's no way I'm gonna get spoiled because it's the thing doesn't air until tomorrow. Oh, there's a gift set.
There's some like X kit or something you can download, and it'll like you can literally type in tags and it will not show you anything tagged as that.
Really? I don't know.
Too much effort.
Too much effort. Too much effort. By the way, Aniko says hi, and also Caller300 asks, "Am I getting tired of all the people asking for obsessed about Five Nights at Freddy's like yourself?" Kind of. I'm really hoping that Five Nights at Freddy's gets a little, like dies down after the third one. I think 3 within 6 months is a little too fast, and I think some people are going to get kind of tired of it. There's definitely going to be some diehard fans, but I think after a while people are going to be like, okay, it's going to be the same game over and over again. There's definitely different changes, but people are expecting them to be able to walk around and things like that. Knowing the game engine of what the Scott's using, that is not.
Yeah.
By the way, the game is 2D. I know it looks 3D, but it's 3D renders made into sprites, very similar to like a Super Nintendo game, and applied to it. But it's a 2D clicker game. There's no other options you have.
Yeah. I heard the creator kind of trolled people recently. I don't know what he did, but it looked like he like said there was an update and put up like a sprite like side scroller or something.
Really? I know that Yo Mama has already told me and fair warned me that there's 4 more Yo Mama Five Nights at Freddy videos that I have to do. They wrote a old mama joke and a short mama joke. They are very excited about Five Nights at Freddy's because those videos do really, really well.
Built-in fan base.
Yeah, I mean it works. I just know that it's always going to be on my plate because they know that I know a lot about Five Nights at Freddy's because I've done a lot of Five Nights at Freddy's videos, and it's one of those like chicken and egg things where it's like I only know Freddy because I keep getting asked to do videos. But yeah, so Gravity Falls, really brutal, really good Pacifica episode. There's 2 things I wanted to talk about the episode. One was the blood. I thought there was going to be some kind of like hidden thing. The second thing I want to talk about is that in the episode, Pacifica's father, voiced by Nathan Fillion, I don't know if like he works better in person. Personally, the voice is great, but like
you don't hear Nathan Fillion.
I don't. If you didn't tell me it was Nathan Fillion, I wouldn't know. Yeah. And but he used a bell. It was like it was supposed to be a metaphoric device.
For Pavlov's dog.
Yeah, basically it was like, hey, listen, is that a scientific thing? I'm assuming.
Pavlov basically proved that if you ring a bell when you give a dog dinner, it will start to salivate. So if you ring the bell and there's no dinner, the dog will still drool.
Okay.
It's a conditioned response.
Right. So whenever Pacifica steps out of line, he rings the bell and she automatically goes back. And I honestly thought, knowing like Gravity Falls style, I assumed it was a magical device. Like at first, when the first few times, but it was just kind of a quick little, hey, here is a physical way we can show in a cartoon
emotional abuse.
Emotional abuse, yes. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But again, was I the only one? Did you not think it was a magical?
I kind of just saw it for what it was. It's like she is conditioned,
mm-hmm.
you know.
And it definitely humanized Pacifica, which is something that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, and it wasn't Mabel that did it either.
Yeah.
It was Dipper.
Because most of the Pacifica episodes have been focused on Mabel, and this one, it was cool. I really liked it. I really like Dipper in a suit. I don't know, like it's just really cool to see him out of something that he normally, is wearing.
Costume changes are nice.
Cool. I inspired someone to draw. I'm gonna click on this thing, but I can't show you on the thing because we're doing a webcam. But check it out. Okay, it's a Grumpy Mark picture.
Nice.
But yeah. So besides that, anything else we want to know about the Gravity Falls episode besides really really good?
Definitely like some hints at what's going to end the season and whatnot.
Oh yeah. So like something on a forum I go to, someone like talked about like they feel like this might be the last episode or last season of Gravity Falls, and I kind of agree. There's a lot of things that points to finale and not seasonal finale. And I don't know. I don't think it's because of ratings. I think it might be just Alex's vision. Alex Hurst, the creator. Do I want an end? Kind of no. Kind of yes. And not because I don't like it, because I love it. And it's so strong. I would hate for it to go on too long, like certain shows.
Yeah.
And that's one of those things. But I could see it. I could see it ending. I was hoping for 3 seasons, one for each summer, each month of summer.
Yeah. And you never know. I mean, they could maybe, if Gravity Falls is still there by the end of the season, there's probably still lots of mysteries. They could come back. They could do a season where they come back after a year away from Gravity Falls.
It could be a little hokey, but I could see it. Or we can even see it. No, I prefer him being Gravity Falls. It kind of reminds me of Digimon somehow.
Yeah.
Weird, right? But yeah, so I mean, like, it could be ending, could not be. I do know that there's something interesting is Grunkle Stan did not appear in this episode. But his hat did at the end. Tumblr spoiled this. I didn't notice it, but apparently each one of the end cards, there's like a piece of a map, and it slowly fans figured out that it's making a picture of Grunkle Stan and potentially the machine. That I kind of forgot about the machine, but they've been teasing that thing a lot. We do know it takes you to a portal to Rick and Morty. I don't know if you guys know that, but like in the episode from season 2, I think from the teaser ending thing, it has Grunkle Stan like, finally I did it or whatever, and then like a mystery cup and a pen go flying into, or I think it's a pen, but those 2 objects fly through the portal. And season 1 of Rick and Morty that aired a month or like a year ago, it actually, there's a part where they shoot multiple portals, and out of it comes a mystery cup and a pen.
Oh man!
Yeah, same art style and everything. So like I know that the voice of Rick and Morty, Justin Roiland, I think is his name, is the voice of Blendon. So like, there's definitely a connection, overlap, and there's some voices that kind of go back and forth. But that's awesome. I thought that was really really cool. Yeah. So we know that maybe it takes you to different TV shows.
Well, for all we know, Rick and Morty could have been watching Gravity Falls through those glasses.
I probably need to. Oh, so something I've been toying around with the Watch Me Draws is like, I don't know if I'm going to keep calling them Watch Me Draws or if I want to experiment with different things. One of my favorite things to do on the Watch Me Draws is doing retuned is what I was going to call it. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably a terrible idea. But I was going to draw 2 characters and flip their art style. And that would be like a weekly thing. And like, one would be really good would be Gravity Falls in not Steven Universe, which that'd be good too. Gravity Falls and everything, just Gravity Falls everything. But Gravity Falls and Rick and Morty, I think it'd be a really good swap. Maybe do Mabel and Dipper, and then Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Because of that connection, we can even do a portal between it.
That'd be great.
That's an idea. I want to hear what you guys think in the chats or in the YouTube comments. The chats are up there. YouTube, I guess they're technically right there. I do like the fact that when we do live cam, I know we don't do it all the time, but like we do get to do little jokes with ourselves, so it's cool. But yeah, someone asked, do we watch shows like Flash and Gotham? That is more of...
I have got to catch up. Our Hulu subscription timed out, and I kind of got a few episodes behind more than I wanted to. But I love Flash. It's everything I've wanted in a superhero show. Gotham is good, but I'm kind of getting sick of like the same 5 sets being used every every episode.
I'm just not interested. I'm kind of burnt out on superheroes, to be honest. Like,
Right.
I'm not even that super interested in the new Avengers movie. I want to be,
Mhm.
but I don't know. Every trailer it shows me, I'm just kind of like, cool. I'll go see it with my friends. I am excited for Hot Tub Time Machine, though. I want to see that live. Oh! So I'm definitely going to go see it. They are airing in theaters the Super Mario movie in Baxter Avenue in Louisville, and of course I'm going. I'm driving 2
Lord.
hours to see the worst movie ever.
When is it?
Theater. It's like May. I'll have to give it to you. But by the way, speaking of which, I might do a meetup. If anyone's living in Louisville, if there's enough people that's interested, well, maybe let's do it. You know, we could go see Super Mario Brothers the movie together, all of us. Am I worth it? Am I worth it?
No comment. It takes a lot to go see Mario Bros. Granted, it'd be neat to see it on the big screen. I've seen worse. I went to a B-movie festival, remember?
Oh yeah, I mean, like I've seen a lot of movies on the big screen due to Baxter Avenue. When I was living in Louisville, I would go there each week. I saw Jaws, Back to the Future. What's that movie called? Zardoz. I saw Zardoz in theaters. The penis is good. The gun. Oh no, his penis is bad. Gun is good.
God.
If you haven't seen Zardoz, all I was told, my friend Jake. I mentioned him multiple times. He's kind of like a recurring character in the podcast, but Jake took me to it. All he told me was like, it's. I don't know what the plot is. I just know that it's Sean Connery in a mankini. You have to
With
see this
suspenders.
mankini, and it's. I don't know what I watched. Yeah, there was an animator on YouTube that made a parody of it. I forgot what it was, but it's just like the gun is good, and then like just shooting out guns. Oh man. So people in the chat want to know what we think about Sonic Boom. I've watched only one episode of it, and I didn't like it. I saw the episode where it was Tails getting fired as the sidekick, and then Tails somehow applied again and was a eligible candidate, which makes no sense to me right there. And then Dr. Robotnik also applied, and I guess I wasn't expecting it to be. I was hoping for some kind of plot. About that, no.
I kind of feel like Sonic Boom would work better as like little shorts between an actual serious storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Like something to break up the darkness. Because like, you know, I would love it if a show could combine like the old Saturday morning Sonic with the goofy Looney Tunes Sonic from like just a little bit before that.
You're too slow. That's Urkel voicing Sonic. God. That's so good.
But I mean, hey, I'll give it a chance every now and then. But it's.
I will not go on my way to watch it. That first up, I usually have a 4-episode rule, but I really did not like this episode, and like all this like say about how terrible the game was. I just don't really want to support it.
Oh, that poor game.
I do like the designs though. I know they have a little bit too much bandage tape on stuff, and it makes no sense. But besides from Tall Sonic, I love his hipster scarf. I love Tails with his bag. I love Big Knuckles, and Eggman looks so good. I almost bought. I think I explained it on the podcast before. Almost bought the toy. My roommate told me, wait until after Christmas, and now it's like worth $30. It's so frustrating. But Robotnik looks so good in this episode. He's both chubby and muscular, and it's perfect.
Yeah, he looks like a decent villain, which it kind of makes it like a wasted design.
Mm-hmm.
Then again, for me, the height of Sonic will always be the Sonic Adventure 2 on the Dreamcast and GameCube.
Oh man, I love Sonic Adventure. Love it so much. It's not a good game anymore. Like I've played it, and it really glitches out.
The first Sonic Adventure glitches like a son of a gun.
Mm-hmm.
2, not so much.
I just didn't like 2. 2 killed me because there was like a level I was like at the very end of the game that just didn't I could never beat, and it wasn't because of like skill level. It was just like random, and just it glitched out too much. So I was like, I'm done with this.
It happens.
I wound up beating the villain side first. And I normally don't. If I start something, I usually play all the way through and then switch to other characters. That one I had to because there was like a hero stage. It just didn't work out for me. Sonic always kind of has one stage I really don't like. And Sonic Adventure, I love it now, but Lost World, the when you go into the temple with Sonic.
Oh.
That one gave me so much trouble. I want to beat everyone but Sonic, and then I beat Sonic later on. Because I got to Super Sonic, and then let's see here. Then the Sonic Adventure had that one, and then what was it? Sonic Unleashed had like a really long freaking episode, or like a half an hour long stage. We had to switch between day and night. And it's just one of those things where I love Sonic Underground. Sonic Underground.
And I'm leaving.
Sonic Underground has a pretty dark plot. I mean, like, before you add the really terrible musical instruments and the fact that Urkel's voicing 3 different Sonic the Hedgehog characters.
Even the female.
Even
Oh,
Sonya.
Lord.
If you move that, kids being pushed aside, like not be able to see their mother because of a prophecy she's scared of, the whole place being taken over and destroyed. There's a lot of really brutal moments where like one guy gets like half a body size in front of him, things like that. It's really brutal. But then you have this like, let's do a musical number.
It was the dark times.
It was pretty dark, but I remember being really stoked when I found out because I loved Sonic as a kid, But so there was one more show that we need to talk about in our cartoon recap.
Steven
Universe, and it's the Beach Horror City Club something. I forgot what it was called. It was Horror Club, and it is a Lars and Ronaldo plot. And what I thought was really cool about this particular episode was, I'm trying to get closer. We got to really work on our framing, me and composition. But what was great is, first off, one of the followers, Charlie Sexbang, I think is what she's calling herself after Danny Sexbang. I forget her name before that was like Charlie Wood or something. She made a Tumblr like gift set of Ronaldo and was like, I didn't know StevRayBro was in the show. And it's like he does kind of look like me. If he had a beard, we'd be the same guy. And he has a blog you can follow, like a Tumblr. Keep Beach City Weird, which is in one of the episodes. I don't know if it's one you got to see because I know you kind of skipped ahead to get caught up.
Yeah.
And in the episode, there's like either fans asking or the actual creators asking for the sake of like putting content on there. And so it's like, are you friends with Lars? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh wow, that's kind of foreshadowing this episode, which we find out that Lars and Ronaldo have a little bit of a different past.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm assuming most people here has already watched it, because if you're on my channel, you probably should be a Steven Universe fan. And in the episode, Steven, Lars, Sadie, and Ronaldo are watching horror movies. And during the horror movie show, the actual place that they're watching in is a lighthouse. And the lighthouse attacks them.
Mm-hmm.
Sends the scarecrows at them. The actual lighthouse themselves attack them, and you find out that there's like a living heart inside of the thing with Lars's name on it, and you find out that it's actually a gem, and the gem recorded like this part where Lars kind of attacked the house unintentionally. He carved his name in it, and the house took it as an assault, and so he was just protecting himself from Lars. And then you also, with that, you see Lars and Ronaldo together, and it's a very touching moment where you see their friendship break over Ronaldo being too obsessed with the ghost stuff, and Lars being way too obsessed with being cool. They wound up hurting each other's feelings, and that's the split. And I don't think really Lars grew in this episode, but like what's interesting is that Steven Universe so far has been alternating between plot device, so talking more about the gem's homeworld, and then character piece. And I love it. It's a really, really good, especially when you consider the episodes are made in half an hour and broken up into 2. There's supposed to be like traditional shows where they, like Fairly Odd Parents, where they show both. Just Cartoon Network has a really good but they're basically making double the money by airing half an episode a week. But so like it was just a really like cool episode to see, and it really grew Lars and Ronaldo. And like I'm a firm believer that Ronaldo. I don't know why I keep like messing up. He's going to be a more important character as it goes on. I have a feeling, and I think this episode helps cement that.
Yeah, and it didn't even dawn on me till we mentioned like Lars carved his name in that place, and then he wasn't in there again until Sadie was there. So it's like the house had all this time to build up all this resentment towards Lars. And it's like, it didn't even dawn on me, like, why is it just happening now? And I'm like, oh.
Because Lars is there. And it was really nice. It was really cool. You had a couple of like shocker moments because again, you kind of skipped episodes to get ahead.
Around.
One, he didn't know that Steven can bubble and teleport things back to the temple, which was brought up in a previous episode. It was a plot point. That was kind of cool. And then you also questioned why the gym was there. Like why would a gym be in a random place? And I don't think it's super rare because a lot of gyms appear randomly throughout the show. I do find something interesting is it feels like most of the events happen in Beach City. So I'm really curious about what's happening around the world.
Yeah.
You know? I know there's been a couple events like Lapis. I don't know. I'm really bad with names, guys. Lapis kind of traveled somewhere, so it was a road trip. But for the most part, besides like places that teleport to gym spaces or what feels like gym world areas, it really just takes place in Beach City.
Yeah. It kind of goes with the whole trope of almost like Townsville. The weird stuff only ever happens there.
That's an interesting trope. That happens a lot in cartoons, like Amity Park and Danny Phantom, stuff like that.
And whatever city a current Power Ranger team is in.
Yeah, always.
It's like the insurance rates just rocket up.
Not to segue, but you did find an interesting potential leak.
Oh, this
hint.
supposedly on the official Power Rangers Instagram, they put up a picture of 4 of the original Rangers and the second Yellow Ranger and it had something along the lines of look forward to seeing them in Dino Charge.
So there might be a 10, 15 if you count all 10 Power Rangers that's going to be in the season.
6 main team for Dino Charge, 5 from Power Ranger, from Mighty Morphin, and then if they really are lucky, 3 from Dino Thunder.
That'd be really cool. I like Dino Thunder. I watched that in college, and maybe I just have a crush on Kira. But
well, it was a really well written season. It was one of Disney's better ones.
Mm-hmm. Only problem with that is once they stop introducing new concepts, it gets fillery real quick, and you just skip to the end.
Yeah.
So let's answer some comments real quick here. Some people are talking about anime and Japanese stuff. Someone was like, I think someone was kind of like talking about like we were talking about English stuff, and someone's like, well, anime. I just call all animation anime. What I find interesting about that is one of my favorite facts is that anime is a French term.
Yeah.
Not a Japanese one, so the French stole that. So anything French is technically anime as well. Basically, it's just a translation of animation. I understand why people distinguish it because anime does have its own special culture with it and stuff like that. But it's all animation to me, and I tend to refer to manga as comics a lot too.
Yeah, and that's the exact translation of the word manga.
I sometimes find it a little silly to distinguish them between each other, but that's me.
The only distinguishing feature is which direction you read it from.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and the anime, it's just where it comes from. But then you have weird cases like Avatar. Does that count as anime, or because it's English made? You know.
Well, I've shown you that one where it's going to be a joint production between Toei or whatever it is that makes like Super Sentai and Kamen Rider and a French animation studio, Miraculous Ladybug, I think it's called.
Yeah. I think I see the animation for that.
Yeah, and like they pitched a 2D one, and they're doing a 3D. And I'm actually really looking forward to it because if anybody can, like, my one problem with like 3D CG cartoons is the cities always look dead.
Oh yeah, like Ninja Turtles. Like I think they might have wrote this plot where the city is all like taken over because it looks so bare.
Yeah.
No one's ever on the streets, and for whatever reason, 2D animation kind of works with that. Like it doesn't feel bare or empty or But as soon as you add the third dimension to it, it just looks really, really.
It's a production time thing, but
no, I mean like visually, as an audience member,
it just feels more alive. And one of the things they said that they were going to do their best with is since Miraculous Ladybug is set in Paris, which is one of the most densely populated cities on Earth, they want to make Paris feel alive and feel like its own character.
That's cool.
So I want to see how they do that. I love the way the characters move in it.
Well, see, the weird thing about 3D animation versus 2D animation, it's a lot more money to add additional characters to everything. Because not only do you have to design the character, You have to model it, texture it, animate it, and a bunch of different things. What you looking at?
Sorry, somebody's like saying Avatar was originally Japanese, but I'm like, it's a Nickelodeon original production.
And the creators are English speakers,
Yeah.
so I don't think it's Japanese.
Yeah, there's a lot of Japanese animators who worked on it, just like any cartoon, but...
Additionally, someone asked, so some Your Mama questions I get a lot. I'm going to go ahead and answer them here now.
Go for it.
First off, the mamas do not have names. They literally are called Old Mama, redheaded Fat Mama, brown-headed Fat Mama. That's usually, we don't have any production names for them. They have names in universe, we just never will hear them. We'll never see Brody's mom. Sorry, it's one of those things where I think it would ruin it. And I don't keep in mind that I'm not a writer for Your Mama. I'm just strictly the animator. Zach and Alex are the creators. Red Mama. Red Minus is the character designer and basically art director of the show. And then Max is the music guy, and then Brock Baker is the voice actor for everything, and then Foxy Lee occasionally does voice acting for it as well. And then I'm just another animator that animates half of the show now. I was a backup animator, and now I'm like full-fledged.
Yeah, he was a backup dancer, and now he's up center stage.
So let's see here. I didn't art style didn't make cartoon, especially did it One Piece. It's so someone was mentioning One Piece and how like art style isn't really what it is, because like with One Piece it's a very cartoony anime. So I don't know.
People have noses.
And then you have like things like what's it called? Panty and Stocking, where it's completely English looking. I don't know. I feel like you're just splitting hairs at this point, trying to distinguish everything.
Somebody did ask if you'd seen that they're doing a new Dragon Ball Z movie where they bring back Frieza.
I'm pretty stoked about it. Like, it's not so much that I'm excited about the film, but I'm excited that my friends can get together and watch it. Because, like, a lot of my friends are really big Dragon Ball Z fans. And, like, I was pretty... I got really excited each week, especially during the Boo Saga. Like, that was when I was in middle school. And I remember, like, immediately coming home, watching Toonami just to get to Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball. I really love Dragon Ball.
Oh, you can't beat Dragon Ball.
But, like, the Dragon Ball Z movie, the one that came out, what was really cool about it was uncensored, unlike the rest of Dragon Ball when I watched it as a kid.
Oh, yeah.
So like, it felt like the show grew up with me. But, yeah, I mean, like, I'm down for it. I'll watch it anytime.
I just love the fact that there's a band in Japan that actually did a song about Frieza, and they're doing one of the songs for the new movie.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They did, I think it was just called F, which is part of the title, is Resurrection of F. And the song was just about, like, it was scenes from Dragon Ball Z interspliced with, like, war footage of, like, dictators and shit. It was interesting, and they're, like, really screamy metal sounding. So it kind of fits Frieza. Ooh, making me jealous here.
He wants you. I do want to show off a couple of toys. Today is kind of a weird day. I know we usually shoot for like 2 hours, but we're probably going to end the podcast pretty soon. I'm going to answer a few more questions, but I do want to show off 2 toys. One, I got this. By the way, hilariously, the Majora's Mask game is still in box. Yeah, it's still factory sealed just because I haven't had time to play it.
Even if I bought it, it'd still be sealed because I want a new 3DS to play it on, and they don't have it in blue yet. And
I also have these guys, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about these. I really want to open them, but I thought I might do an unboxing video. Maybe. Let me know if it's dumb or not. I know unboxing videos are really popular, and I figured, why not? I have really cool toys. Why not share them? But if you guys aren't interested, I'll just open them and put them on my desk finally. They've been waiting there for like a couple of weeks, actually.
That puking gnome is taunting me.
He gets the puking gnome. I'm just going to give it to him. By the way, Wizard World, they were actually reasonably priced. Yeah. These things are really expensive online. Like, you can only find them online right now. And, like, Mabel is usually marked up, even in stores. Like, Toy Wiz, I think, is the place. And they like marked this one up to like $20. And this is not a $20 toy.
No, Toy Wiz always marks up. They are price gougers.
You have Dipper, which is reasonably priced, $13. It's still a little bit more expensive than I would pay. I think $9.99 would have been perfect.
It's 2 figures. I would be happy at $12. Even.
Yeah, but I mean, there were 15 at Wizard World. We got them the same day. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Did you see the plushy puking gnome?
I did not see that one.
Oh, I wanted one so bad. Like, granted, I'm talking about $12 for 2 figures, and I'm the one who spends ridiculous amounts of money on the things I like. So,
someone asked me, "Hey, Stev, have I watched Over in the Garden Wall?" I did. I loved it. In fact, our first podcast is us basically spoiling the whole thing. Like, it's us kind of reviewing it, but kind of not. We were internet reviewing. You ever notice, like, internet reviews is basically just synopsis of the story, and then, like, slightly at the end, a little bit of opinion, never really critique.
yeah.
That was our first podcast. By the way, guys, if you're newer fans, which I know a lot of you guys are, it seems like the most active ones are kind of newer right now. I don't know if it's just new and excited, but a lot of you guys should really check out some of my older videos. There's been a lot of like, you should draw this, did it. You should draw this, did it. You should talk about this, did it. Just
Well, maybe one or every now and then you could do a draw this again.
Yeah, I'll definitely redraw subjects. Just when during the early years of the channel, I wanted to touch as many bases as possible.
Yeah.
And I didn't want, because like I know that like a lot of people, it's like, oh, you draw something Gravity Falls, for example. If I drew just Dipper, everyone's gonna be like, draw Mabel. And if I draw Mabel, everyone's gonna be draw Grunkle Stan. But like, as cool as that
wants
is,
you to draw Zeus.
hey dude. But like all. You know, you got to spread it out, and you can't just do the same thing. Otherwise, you get pigeonholed into one thing.
Yeah.
If it was for me, I would draw Steven Universe every day, or not Steven Universe, but Gravity Falls. I would draw all. I love those two shows.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do tutorial on art or animations? So one thing I am considering right now is I kind of want to do tip videos. I don't think I'm really that good with tutorials. I know a lot of you guys really enjoyed them, but I don't know. I get really stressed out about them. But I think like 2-minute long tip tutorials on like little techniques, little things will be a lot less stressful and still helpful for people. And I might also do. I've been running into a lot of custom brushes lately. In the past I usually use default ones, and I might do some reviews on those. Just help you guys find some cool things. My channel's not really like if you guys really want like help on that stuff, Draw with Jazz is a great channel. Happy Harry's Happy Harry's how-tos are really good if you want to do animation. Like, I can't do anything better than those two guys. I can try, but why waste your time with me when you can learn from really good people? Let's see here.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet, what?
Somebody asked how we feel about Captain Planet and cartoons of that era, and I'm like,
love it.
They keep saying there's going to be a new movie of Captain Planet. And
really?
I'm just like, when?
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were really going to make Captain Planet come back, because in Punch Time Explosion XL for the consoles, it's a Cartoon Network game. Captain Planet's playable. Like he's a surprise and last character unlocked. He is the Rob robot of.
Well, because he's overpowered.
He's pretty.
He is a plot device in human form.
Also, of course, Oliver, age 24, best artist in the world. I quit. I bow down. Speaking of which, I saw that he got the silver play button because he got 120,000 or 100,000. Wow. I'm supposed to get one, but I have yet to get the email to say that I get it. Like, there's nothing for me to sign up for it. So, like, I don't know when I'm gonna get that plaque, and I was really, really wanting it, and like, I finally made it. And YouTube's like, whatever.
It's like, we only make so many of these a year. You missed
out. We actually talked about it earlier in the podcast, dude. Someone asked if we've seen the Dipper X Pacifica episode.
Pacifica.
We're talking about Oliver, age 24. This is not him, but there's another artist I follow on Twitter, and I kind of regret it now. He commented on someone's comments. Now, on the internet, what are 90% of the comments?
Replies.
No, I mean, duh. Everyone's commenting on something, they're replying to it. No, well, besides first, a lot of the comments are usually like, "You suck, suck a dick," whatever. Like, "You're fat." I get that one a lot. I don't get that one a lot, actually. I get that one like 2 or 3 times a year, and it still hurts me. It hits me here.
It's like, what you do is you keep like a stack of money you've made from your talent. And you just, anytime somebody says you're fat, you just wave that in front of them and say,
I'm not an asshole. Thank you for portraying that one. But anyways, so like, usually comments are pretty mean on the internet. And then like, this guy, he made like a 4-post rant about someone doing a very nice critique. It was literally like, "Hey man, you've improved a lot. I really see how your new art style can help you do expressions and can give a bigger impact on people. But I personally feel like the cartoony look doesn't fit your characters as well. Keep up the improvement, but I really like your old comic. Or I like your old art style a little bit better. Keep up the work, man. And like, he flipped out the guy, like kind of like it wasn't like drastically like you didn't respond to him, but like he ranted about it on Twitter. And it was just like, oh man, what a nice way to say I hate your art style. Too bad it's not your fucking comic. Like, I mean, that's not paraphrasing. He used the curse word and everything, and then like I sound like a little child. He used a curse word and everything. That guy, he went over the edge. And then on top of that, he also did a couple other ones where it's just like, man, what a stupid criticism. Think before you think your criticism makes sense. How can I improve and you don't like it at the same time? And I'm just like, I did reply to the guy. I'm like, well, technically, you can improve in your line quality, your anatomy, your, polishing, coloring, but sometimes you can still lose appeal. And he's like, appeal is subjective. I'm like, so is comments. I didn't respond to it because I didn't want to start a fight, but I was just like, I kind of lost a lot of respect for the dude. I'm not going to mention his actual name because I'm not the type to tarnish people's things. But like, there was a couple more comments where he's just ranting about it, and it's like, really, dude? In the internet where like most people are really, really mean in the comments, and the one guy that's like genuine and actually cares and gave your opinion, you're gonna be a dick to him.
Jeez. See, you're not fat, you're awesome.
Your fat truffle shuffle into their faces. That's a trigger. I don't normally do trigger things, but like someone who didn't know me said that to me, and like that automatically cuts me out. I don't think that was one of the reasons why I don't like the Goonies, but it's definitely on there. And thanks, man.
Somebody asked, do you play Magic or any other card games? It's Against Humanity.
I do own the bigger blacker box, or my roommate owns the bigger blacker box. I actually have a couple of card games. Hand that over here. Come on, man. I could have got up, but he's in the way.
I've been sitting too long. Yes?
Yeah. I took these to school, actually.
Yeah, you've got a lot of games now that I think
I do. I have Boss Monster. I have
Kittens in a Blender.
That's the one I'm gonna pull up. Thanks for spoilers. I own Kittens in a Blender. We got this because my roommate's girlfriend's really big into cats, and we're like, she'll never lose, or she'll never win. She'll never blend the cats. Guess what the object of the game is? To blend cats in a blender. And then we have Story Wars, which was a Kickstarter thing, and Frederator did this really nice wedded couple. I forgot what their names are, but they did the Bioman and Spider-Man or whatever. I never actually watched it, but I did watch a little short here, and it's really, really cute. Really good. But I never played Magic. I played the Pokemon card game with you online because you wanted me to.
Playing against random strangers, I can win almost every time.
Not
Playing
me.
against person I know,
he lost.
I can't get inside your head, man.
There's too much hair. By the way, do you guys look the hair down? I don't know. That sounds like really girly, but I've been experimenting. I know that
my ears up or down. What? Babs Bunny.
Oh, okay. But I don't know. I've been playing around, especially since I'm about to redesign my character for the update channel or the channel update. I don't know. The ponytail thing's cool, but like it's getting long now, so the ponytail doesn't go up in the air anymore. Just thoughts. I need to like read through the comments. You talk about something. Go.
When I was at Wizard World, I found a great booth. Is it okay if I give them a shout out?
For it.
Dorkside Toys, DORK Side Toys. I got Figma Samus Aran from Metroid. Every other booth on the floor had her at $55 to $65. These guys had her for $35, and they weren't even like. They said we don't charge import prices, so like they were charging what it originally cost in Japan, not factoring in shipping or anything.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting Motor Master from Transformers when he comes out.
I don't remember that name.
He looked a little like a black and purple Optimus Prime.
Okay.
Had a boxy head, and he's a combiner torso.
You love combiners.
Oh my god. Yeah, Hasbro is bleeding me dry this year.
This is his bread and boner. Combiners. if it's a robot that connects to another robot, this guy will buy it.
I can't help it.
So a couple of different people asked me. So Steven, do whatever you want. That's your character design. He likes the hair up. The ponytail does work, but I don't know. I've been playing around with different ideas. I thought about dyeing my hair at one point, not like full color, but like a strand or something. But then I was like, that might be too ego raptory. I just know I want to do something different. I'm sick of seeing this right now. No, I'm not shaving it. I should after like what happened earlier today that I told you about with those people.
Oh,
Cause like the stereotypes they apply, I should just shave it all off and just go super neat.
go full Heisenberg.
Like shave off everything and just be like super clean. But let's see here. There was someone else when asked I wanted to see. Someone asked about like what would you give advice for people that are just starting? Start like do it. Honestly, you're gonna have 100. The common thing is 100 bad drawings. Get them out of the way. You're gonna have 100 bad comic pages. Get them out of the way. You're gonna have a bad 100 animations. Get them out of the way. Animation's just like a video game. You have to get experience to level up, and without the experience, you can't. I treat life like a video game, and I think of every like little thing that I do as a level up system. And there is times where I feel like I do get improved. You know, I get to see it, and you
if
honestly.
only there was that ding every time I brushed my teeth.
Is that your skill? Is that what you pride your life on? Brushing
No,
your
it
teeth?
just make it easier to remember.
Oh man, I hate brushing my teeth. I do it, but I hate it. It's a taste. It's just I don't know. Makes eating terrible.
You're not supposed to eat after you brush your teeth.
No.
Whatever you do not go near orange juice.
Oh, someone asked about my earrings. I got like little 2 gauges. I do have Autobot symbol gauges, but they're a little bit too big for me to fit in it. Yeah,
I wondered why I hadn't seen those.
I want them. I bought them off Etsy. They're really cool. They're really high quality, but I can't get them in my ear yet. I need to get like a little bar to stretch them just a little bit more because like they're twos. They're twos just like these, but these are just slightly smaller. And I could pop these out.
I couldn't do it, man.
See.
I couldn't do it. I can't stand needles.
So some people asked about the Cintiq. Basically, we cut it open. We wound up taking the Cintiq, putting it down. It's dead. No. We wound up unscrewing it, and then we found out the cord that was messing up wasn't directly attached to the actual thing. It was a DVI cord. We just had to pull that out, cut it out so that we can fit the new one in, and it was a $25 fix. It was awesome.
Nice.
All right, we'll answer 2 more questions, make them good, and then we're gonna head off for tonight. But I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Let's see here.
It's been fun.
Oh, we're not finishing just yet. 2 more questions. Now we have to wait for the 30-second awkward moment while we wait for the things to hear us saying there's gonna be questions, and then it pops up.
Your toys are attacking.
My toys are falling over. Here's Banjo.
Oh, when'd you get that?
I always had it. It's always up there. I just don't have the place to put it. I really want to hang it up to where it's like
with a nose like that, you should just have it peeking over things. Because the nose would just hold it.
As you guys know, Banjo-Kazooie is like one of my favorite things ever. So I have this, and then I have this guy.
He's praying for a Banjo amiibo.
I would love it if they actually Nintendo did Banjo again. I was so hoping that they would announce Banjo's back through Smash Brothers. Okay. So we got some questions. Let's see here. Mostly my skills are being used for my channel itself. Cool. Ray, did you watch the Book of Life? A bunch of people asked that actually. So, Book of Life. I
haven't seen it yet.
I thought it was okay. I don't think it was anything groundbreaking. I did see the LT cameo the first time watching. He appears in like the first 5 minutes.
Nice.
Overall, I think the plot was kind of generic and kind of lost me a little bit. There's this thing where they have a book ending where it's kids being read to, and so this Book of Life is being told to them through another character, and it's obvious who the character is, and the kids keep interrupting, and you don't actually learn anything about the kids through the interruptions. It's just generic interruptions to remind you, hey, there's kids listening to this story. Compare it to Princess Bride, where the story keeps getting interrupted, but it actually enhances the plot a little bit. It adds suspense to it, or it just brings new interesting facts about Columbus and Fred Savage.
Yeah.
I don't know their real names in the movie, but that enhanced the story. This one, it kept taking me out of it. Every time I got interested into it enough and forgot about them, they popped back up, and the kids' jokes weren't really funny.
Art style wise, I was what I have seen on Tumblr, at least, I was really impressed. Like, the concept art and the storyboards were like, they were somehow, like, a lot of stuff you lose a little bit of something between the actual final realization and the concept art and the storyboards. This, there was, like, nothing lost.
I love the puppet style of the characters. That's great. It was a really cool way to like have your cake and eat it too with the character designs. And I really love the sugar lady design. I forgot what her name was in the movie. I've seen it like I saw it in November.
It's been a while.
It also doesn't help that I saw the movie with friends and like I was misled to think my friends really wanted to see it and they didn't. They were just pleasing me, and so like I kind of like left out of it feeling kind of like I was disappointed. Maybe I hyped it up in my head or what, but like I came out of it like, we should have saw this other movie that everyone else.
Be worth a DVD rental at some point.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth a red box. Let's see here. Someone made a joke comment. I gotta read it out loud. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your favorite color of the alphabet? And then finally, one person. I don't really have a favorite art piece, so that's not really a good question.
Somebody did ask, are you planning on updating your entire channel or just your character?
So what do I want to do with the channel? Well, first off, I want to do animations for the channel. I do have a handful of really cool ideas. Strangely, all musical. I want to do a Kirby musical. I probably should announce it because as soon as I announce it, it's not going to happen. But I do have a banjo and a Kirby idea cartoon I want to do. I do have a couple of original ideas I want to do as well with original characters. I just want to get a couple of things to make it a little bit more financially secure. Because there's potential that I might be quitting my day job to focus on YouTube a little bit more. And what that means is I'm going to be focusing on what the days that I go in for work, I would be instead doing animations, which is really exciting prospect because I found out in December that if I do, an animation or two a month, I could actually sustain myself. I could actually live off that.
Dreaming.
I know, right? So like, why not? And so I am contractually obligated to work at the school that I am right now. At least until the next 4 months go through, and we'll see then if I might still teach one class there, or I might switch gears and go to animation. But I definitely want to do animation. I also want to do a Draw My Life. I need to do that as a 100,000 subscriber celebration. Way late, but I don't have time to do it right now because I'm doing that Try Hard Ninja music video. But yeah, so after that, that's gonna be awesome. I playing around with the idea of Watch Patrols being retooled. I kind of want to do Retuned, which is a weekly swapping characters out of art styles. Because one thing that really draws out the Watch Patrols is trying to figure out backgrounds, and a lot of times I don't do backgrounds. I think with the retool idea, I could just have fun with it and not worry about it too much and spend more time on the character models and be fine. And so like Retune, animations, and then a podcast. Of course, I really like the podcast. It doesn't get as many views as my other stuff, but the people who do watch it really do enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing it. It's a love letter to the diehards. And then there was something else. I feel like I am going to eventually start the gaming channel. I don't know what it's going to be exactly. I know I have an idea of the intro, and I don't know if I'm going to do Let's Plays strictly. I might just make it reruns or, re-uploads of stuff I do on the Twitch. Because I do want to play more games when I have some time. I have been saving certain things. Well, I'm playing Wind Waker HD right now, and I've been like, I'll hold off that. I want to do that live stream. Well, I'm not really playing it right now, but when my computer was broken, I wound up playing it, and I skipped certain elements, like going through and mapping the treasure, or not mapping the treasure, but mapping the map or whatever, finding the map. And then like doing little taking photos of people and making figurines. I think it'll be a really fun live stream event. So so that might just become a re-upload thing, and then occasionally more playing with fans. I know there's a couple things like Draw My Life, or not Draw My Life, but Draw My Thing and things like that. That'd be really, really cool to do with you guys, because the gaming channel is not supposed to be like, I'm going to make cheap money with the Let's Plays. It's going to be a way for me to interact with you guys in a new way. I look at like Game Grumps and stuff, and I'm like, this is cool because you get to feel like you're hanging out with Ego Raptor and other people. That's what Let's Plays are. And I want to give that to you guys because you guys legitly, after like the love stream, you guys are really, really excited to meet me, some of you, and I want to give back. That this is a way like for me to like feel not bad about playing video games. So whenever when I'm playing video games, I feel really guilty for not making art. I feel like I feel like I owe you guys stuff because you guys done a lot for me. You've opened a lot of doors. It's awesome. To hang out with you guys in a way, and I think that's cool enough for a channel, So I don't know if it's just going to be live stream re-uploads. Maybe I might do some short games because like I did experiment with it, and short games kind of work for me. Platformers I can talk over. I tried doing like Captain Toad, and I could not commentate on that whatsoever. Like I need a friend to talk for me. Doing Let's Plays by yourself is so tricky because you have to think what you're doing as well as try to think of something interesting to talk about. And I guess I'm just not that good at improv.
It's a skill. Improv is a skill.
So I think we're going to end the podcast there. I am recording this, and it should automatically go into the thing. It was only an hour and some change, so it probably won't corrupt like it normally does. So the podcast might be going up tonight. So that'll be exciting because I know it usually takes a couple of days. But hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I'm really excited. Next week we'll talk about what happens at Anime Crossroads. Maybe the Maid Cafe thing. I do want to make that into its own little video. And we'll talk about whatever cartoons air and whatever subjects you guys want. If you have anything you want us to see to talk about, let's do it.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Peabody and Sherman movie?
I have not.
It's on Netflix now. I've been wanting to watch it.
Already?
Yeah.
Cool.
So let's watch that. That's our goal. We'll watch that and come back and talk about it. But
I like it. So
let's do this. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome.
Later.
Bye. I'm not near the button.